take. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Is it working? Is it running?
I think it's working.
Okay, awesome.
I think we're away.
It's exciting.
I know. Got my little clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome to the Life Couch.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm in my, we are in our gym.
Yeah.
This is where we train. This is where we talk about life as well.
Yep.
So I thought I'd invite you onto the couch, talk about life and success, or life and life.
Yep.
You've been pretty busy.
Yep.
Out and about. You just got back from an overseas trip.
Yeah, I was in, I flew to Seoul, so I spent 3 days in Seoul, Korea, which was fantastic. But my main area that I was going to stay in was Canada. So I did a road trip through Canada. Saw the sights, saw a bit of Pearl Jam, and caught up with a few friends. It's really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So tell me more about Pearl Jam. You're a bit of a Pearl Jam fan?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, just a bit of a music fan, really. I think music's really important, as you know.
Yeah.
You love your tunes. I think music it's just that really cool soundtrack that we all need. We've been, we all work in the gym, and how often do we get asked you to put the music on when it's quiet,
Yeah.
It just livens things up. It just makes things exciting. I shoot around at school in the gym, and I love the sound of that basketball just echoing on the floor, but as soon as you put the music on, it's just really cool.
Yeah.
So music I just think it's a great thing. Everyone should have it. I think people that are kind of unhappy or angry in life probably don't have good music in their life.
That's fair.
But Pearl Jam, introduced to them when they first came out. A mate bought the 10 CD for me for my birthday, and I just really liked it, and they've been putting out really good music, and I just became a really big fan. And whenever they play, I kind of try my best to go and see them. Travelled overseas a couple of times to see them, which is fun. Gives me an excuse to go and see countries, and every few days catch a Pearl Jam gig, and so try to get it on in here as often as I can.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a bit more about Pearl Jam, but we've got a 10-minute couch, so
Okay.
I've got to press this button.
Okay.
Otherwise, we'll just talk for hours.
Doesn't count.
10 minutes to talk about stuff.
All right, excellent.
Pearl Jam. So everyone loves Pearl Jam, surely.
Yeah. Well,
Do you have an interesting story you want to share? You just got back from the States. How many concerts did you see?
I saw them 4 times.
4 times in how many weeks?
In a week and a half. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, we'll say 2 weeks. Saw them twice in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Fantastic. I've never been in Madison Square Garden before, so that was really good. The cool thing about Pearl Jam is that every show is different. They've got 10 albums, 400 songs to choose from, and they make sure they mix it up every night. They play the hits, you're going to get Better Man and Daughter and Rearview Mirror and all that kind of stuff, but they make sure they mix it up every night. So seeing them back to back each night is almost like a 2-day long concert, which is completely different. And then from there I saw them in Quebec Quebec was a beautiful city, great food, great little town, and it was a great show again, a completely different show. And then saw them in Ottawa before heading to Toronto and heading back home. So I basically drove from city to city, took in all the sights, took in a Pearl Jam gig, and then moved on to the next city.
Yeah. Did you hire a Ferrari? What sort of car did you have?
Well, see, the story was I was going to get some hot rod car.
Yeah.
But then there's a little disclaimer that says, or something similar.
Right.
I got the family wagon.
Right.
Like
so
the Griswolds family wagon. It was just me.
In a 5-seater.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Plenty of room for my luggage, but I wasn't rolling along really cool.
I went to Vegas in 2010, the United States. I got a convertible. You had to get a convertible.
So that's what I was hoping for.
I can't remember what it was. A Cadillac convertible.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put the roof down.
See, I was hoping to have that experience, but I had the 5-door family van.
Got the wagon.
But it got me there, so it was all right.
Yeah, So what's the food like in America? Was it extra size, super size, jumbo size, like they say?
Everything's big. Everything's big in America. I'm not a big fan of the States, to be honest. Everyone's trying to be big. Everyone's trying to be something that they're not, and it's just too hard. Yeah. It's fun food, but it's not good food.
Right.
Like it's just burgers and fried chicken and pizzas, and you have to go out of your way to find green stuff and red stuff.
Did you have a salad at all?
No.
I mean, we're in a gym here. You got to.
I found a really cool market that had a really good fruit shop there, and I bought a lot of fruit. Right. But the vegetable I was probably limited to the pickled gherkin on the side of my burger.
Right.
Yes.
That was the only bit of green.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you pulled it out. There's no what to do with Geek.
I ate it. It was good.
Yeah. So, what do you do for a crust? You're obviously a teacher. You're a member of Elements for Life.
Yep.
Who are you?
Yeah, okay. So, for those of you that don't know, I'm a school teacher. I teach cooking and a little bit of PE, and I love it. I was always PE, but probably 5 or 6 years ago, I got into the cooking side of things. I love food,
yep.
And they needed a cooking teacher for a lesson, so I took that, and then that built up more and more. So now I teach more cooking than PE. So I'm basically
teaching them burgers, pizza.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
No, actually, if anything, it's the complete opposite. We teach these kids like the life skills they need. You know,
yeah.
they've got to understand that what they put in their body has a huge impact on them.
Yeah.
And some kids get it, some kids don't. Unfortunately, some kids come from families where they don't really care what they eat. And we teach them about, hey, listen, you can make really good, healthy, yummy food easily. Just here's a life skill. Like I was talking to my kids the other day, and you know, how often were you at high school and you heard kids say, like, why do I need to do this subject? Like, where's it going to get me in life? I'm never going to use this again. And I said to my cooking class, you can't say that in this subject. Like, you're going to cook for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You're going to eat for the rest of your life. So learn the skills here, and you know, you can go away and cook some great food. So I love it. I love teaching them, you know, to cook really fun and exciting foods.
What age group's that?
High school. So year 7, 12-year-olds up to year 10, about 16-year-olds. So the year 7s, we do really basic stuff, but simple but good stuff, and they kind of have no idea.
So they got to cook it and then eat it.
So I'll show them how to cook it. So I'll do a lesson where I do the demo for them, and they sit there with the recipe and they watch and they see me do it. And then the next lesson, in groups of 4 in their bay, they'll reproduce what I cooked, and then they sit down and eat it.
Yeah.
And we also push that big social aspect of food, like sit down and eat with the people you've cooked with. You know,
is it like
really
MKR where you sit and go, oh look, this is a 5. It's a little bit dry.
I do judge them. I try to be more like Jamie Oliver though, throwing crap around the kitchen and trying to get excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do grade them. But they do a pretty good job. And then when we get up to the senior kids, we cook some really exciting stuff. You know, and they know what they're doing. So it's
what's exciting? Freak shakes.
I went there today.
Did you?
Making curries or pasta or pizzas, and actually making the ingredients. So making curry paste to go in the curry, making the pasta for the lasagna, making the breads and the sauces for your pizzas. So actually making ingredients that are in the recipe instead of just using jar stuff. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So what school's that at?
I'm at Alfred Deakin. Yeah. Really good school. Good school, great kids. I love it. I've been there 9 years now, so it's been a while.
Is that what you're going to do for the rest of your life?
I think I'd like to move on to a college and get into a really good cooking program where you can really challenge the kids, and we can get into some really sort of exciting foods and recipes that really challenge the kids. But I think I'd eventually like to open up a little bit of a funky food van somewhere. I think the food scene in Canberra is going to get huge. So it's getting there. You've got that little hamlet in Braddon where they've got the little food vans. I think we'll get to a point where we dedicate streets to that, where there'll be just streets of food vans in certain places in Canberra, and I'd like to open up just a really funky food van.
Is that what you call it? Funky food van?
I don't know what I'd call it. I don't have a name for it yet. It depends on what kind of food I'd cook in it. But you'd have to have a catchy kind of name for it.
Funky food van?
Funky food van is pretty cool.
I'd probably eat there.
Well,
it's funky food.
I'd make it funky for you.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's maybe something you could aspire to. Maybe it's going to be up to you to manifest that.
Well, I'm working on it now. Like
you just need a street. Just buy a street.
Yeah.
And then start.
And then just put a bunch of food vans in there.
Yeah.
No, I'm constantly thinking what I can do, and when I go out and eat, or I eat at somewhere that offers street food like that, I'll think, okay, how can I do that? What can I make that's a little bit different to this? So I'm constantly thinking and coming up with cool ideas for a food van.
Yeah.
So I'm I've planted the
If you're going to
seeds.
open a funky food van, what would be your number one recipe? What would be your keystone?
It'd be like a Mexican type feel, and I've got this great recipe for flatbread, like a soft taco or a burrito wrap or enchilada. You could use it for anything. It's really versatile. A really deliciously crumbed chicken. So basically a chicken taco with a beautiful aioli. You can put all kinds of toppings on it. I'd have a slow cooked pulled pork one. And pulled pork, man. Everyone loves pulled pork. Pulled pork, crumb chicken, deep fried. It's not the healthiest food in the world.
Yeah, we're in the gym.
Side of salad.
Yeah, deep fried salad.
But I when I have friends over, I make these soft shell tacos, and I make you make your crumb, you do your chicken, you make your guacamole and your aiolis and your pulled pork and the sauces, and everyone's mad for them.
Yeah.
And if I could master that and turn it into a really amazing little just finger food, I think it'd go crazy.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I hope so.
Make it happen. I used to work in the food van outside Bobby McGee's when it was actually Bobby McGee's, which was about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I worked in there for about a year. A friend of mine owned it. Mm-hmm. It was hard work.
Yeah.
Sweaty, hot.
Yeah.
Kept hitting my head on top of the
that's
the roof.
The thing. We're big guys.
Yeah.
It need to be a big food van.
Like an extended version. You're 6 foot what?
6.
6'6". So how did you get so tall?
Yeah, that's a good question, because Mum and Dad aren't tall. Well, Dad was tall for his age. He's 6 foot, but that's not tall now. Before, for his age, he was tall. That's tall. Mum's pretty short, but I've got a brother and a sister, and we're all big. We're all big kids.
Is that from eating burgers, you think?
No, I've sort of got this sort of big before I really got into the burgers.
You're already big.
Yeah.
That's our 10 minutes.
That was a quick 10 minutes.
That's a quick 10 minutes. We could talk more. We could probably do this again.
Okay.
I didn't write any questions down because I just wanted this to be raw.
Yeah, that's
and this
cool.
just sort of makes me look good with my pen.
Yeah. See, that's the director.
This is the interview technique.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming onto the couch.
Thanks for having me. I was excited about getting on here for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was fun.
Yeah, we'll talk again.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe bring in one of your funky chicken crumb tacos.
I could totally do that. I could do a little
and I could eat it
video.
while you talk about it.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
That'd be fun.
Okay.
All right, cool.
We're off.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
Right, well, I've heard about this Pearl Jam Tambourine Man story. I've heard it once before. I'd like to hear it again. So I'm actually going to give you something I haven't done before. A bonus 5 minutes.
That's exciting.
Okay.
Pretty lucky.
Right. Time flies.
Yeah, it did.
This is all for you, the tambourine story.
Okay. It's a good story.
Well, better be. You give a bonus 5 minutes.
Geez, I better make this 5 minutes worth it.
So what's this 5 minutes? The Tambourine Man story.
Pearl Jam headlined the big day out in 2014. Went to that with a really good friend of mine, and we were there rocking out to the gig. And the last song of the night, Eddie, the lead singer of Pearl Jam, was rocking out with a couple of tambourines. And he threw one into the crowd to a woman who was right at the front of the stage. And I was like, oh gosh, man, getting one of those tambourines would have been awesome.
So you tackled her and took it.
So I grabbed it and ran away, and that's my tambourine. No, I was off to the side of the stage a little bit, and Eddie was kind of still rocking out with his tambourine, and sort of came my way. And I had a Pearl Jam t-shirt on. He was scanning the crowd, and I just kind of went, just rocking, and he just pointed at me, and I wasn't that far from him, and he said, "This is for you, big guy," and he ran my way, and I was like, wow. And he just pointed out to me and went, "This is yours," and tossed me the tambourine. And I grabbed it, and there would have been big day out, last show of the night, last act, 60,000 people there. 2 people got a tambourine, and I was one of them. Right. And I just thought that was cool for me. That was just a little memento from the show that I thought was amazing. Eddie's thrown out this tambourine, I've got it. For the rest of the song, I was banging along with the tambourine to the song. I was rocking out, and I was trying to be in time. And people were coming up just saying, "Wow, man, that's awesome! You got a tambourine. That's really exciting." So it was a bit of a buzz. And a few weeks later, he stayed around in Australia and played a few solo gigs. And again, I went to a few of the shows with the friend who was at Big Day Out with me, and I just thought I'd chuck my tambourine in my backpack, just see what happens. And we're at the State Theatre watching Eddie play a solo gig, and Eddie Vedder solo is amazing. He's just an amazing musician, and it was just fantastic to watch. And at the end of the gig, we walked out of the theatre, and it was pouring down rain, kind of like it is now actually, and we waited until the rain sort of disappeared a bit to walk back to the hotel. And we walked around the back of the theatre, and the road crew were packing up, and there were 3 or 4 people sort of just hanging around there. So we went over and had a look, and Eddie's man came out and said, listen, Eddie Vedder's just down here, and he wants to say hello to a few fans before he leaves. Be cool, just come on down, and you know, no photos or anything like that. So wow, so we walked down there, and he opened up the door to the stage area, and there's Eddie. And this is a pretty big deal. Like Eddie Vedder's, you know, a big man in the music scene, I think. And so it was fantastic to meet him. And I just said to him, listen, Eddie, you have no idea who I am. But a couple of weeks ago at Big Day Out in Sydney, I was the guy you pointed at and threw the tambourine to. And he was like, oh man, that's really cool. Like, I'm glad you got it. And I'm like, yeah, I've actually got it here. And I was a bit nervous to ask him anything, but he said, listen, grab it out and let me autograph it for you.
Cool.
And I was like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. So I grabbed it out, and he, you know, just, what's your name? I'm like, oh, Will. And he's like, to Will. And he drew his little Eddie Vedder wave that he's known for. And then signed it and said, there you go, like, you know, keep it and look after it. And so back in the backpack, and had a bit more of a chat with him about music and stuff, and then let him talk to the other people, and wandered off, and ended up walking away with an Eddie Vedder autographed tambourine that I think's pretty cool.
It is very cool.
Yes, that's you know, how those things can come together and happen are pretty random. You know, out of, like I said, thousands of people in the crowd, I get sort of singled out to have the tambourine, and then a couple of weeks later I actually meet him to get that tambourine signed. So that's my tambourine story.
Does he recognise you? Did he recognise you at another concert?
Yeah, he actually did. Went to a gig a couple of nights later, and we told him we were going to watch a few of his gigs, and at the next gig we went to, which was at the Opera House, so fantastic. You know, watching a show at the Opera House was pretty amazing in itself. And for some lucky reason, we were bumped up to front row. Our seats were right up the back, and we were given front row seats, and we were sitting there, and Eddie came out and started strumming a few songs, and then sort of looked our way and went, hey, tambourine guy. And I was like, yeah, hey. And he was like, right on, and just kept playing a few songs, and at the end of a song came over and gave me the pick from the song he was playing. So I was like, this is just the coolest, you know. And then we went down to Melbourne a couple of days later to see Melbourne, but also
Did you ask him for the guitar to go with the pick?
Well, I was thinking about it. Oh, listen, anything you want to give me, Eddie, I'll take it. Yeah. And we were down pretty close to the stage again in Melbourne at the theatre, and he was playing away again, and he just pretty much stopped halfway through a song and kind of went, you guys again? Like, yeah, we're here again. But that's not unusual for Eddie Vedder. Yeah. I think he gets a lot of people going to his shows.
It's the groupie.
Over and over again.
It's a groupie gang.
So
he sees you as a groupie.
Yeah, I think I was a bit of a groupie at that point. There, you know, but I had to let go of it a bit. But that's my pretty cool tambourine story.
And where do you put this tambourine? Like under your pillow?
I do sleep with it.
Yeah.
No, it's sort of up on the wall near my. I've got a great vinyl collection, a lot of records. I love playing my records, and I've got a good stereo, and it just sort of sits up there on the wall next to all my records.
How much Pearl Jam stuff have you got in your apartment?
Quite a bit. I get posters from every show. They're great posters. So it's great art. It's a gig poster, but it's great art from great artists. So I frame them, and a few posters are up around the place. I've got all their music, obviously, and I would have endless Pearl Jam T-shirts. You know, I wear a Pearl Jam T-shirt
every day
to school. And it's a different one every day. And if I don't wear a Pearl Jam T-shirt to school, the kids are like, what's wrong, why aren't you wearing Pearl Jam? Yeah. So it's just a bit of a thing. It's a bit of fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the 5 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me 5 more minutes.
That's all right.
It's cool.
You won't ever get that back.
I hope you enjoyed that 5 minutes too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I might put that at the back of the video, like, you know, one of those little extra parts of the main feature.
You got to wait for all the credits to scroll, and then there's that little 5 minute bonus scene.
Well, we've only got 2 credits. 7 Will.
7 Will. So you don't have to wait long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Again, thanks, Will.
Thanks, Evie.
Appreciate you coming into the couch.
I enjoyed it.
All right.
Thanks.
See ya.
See ya.